Hi everyone, my name is Strider656 and I am a medium player playing War of the Ring. And this game represents the first game in my League playoff series for Lords of Middle Earth for the 2022 League playoffs. I finished the league 9-1, which is actually second seed, and I'm currently playing PouDaddy, who is the seventh seed. Um, we're actually going to look at things from my perspective because this is my first ever video. I want to give a shout out to Ira Faye and the War of the Ring Discord in general, just for being motivational, and especially to Ira for helping me with the OBS software. He sent me some files, and I'm going to try to work on making my screen look better for future videos. But I figured for today, I'm just going to walk you through my first game. So again, this is my game versus PouDaddy. It's my first game of the Lords of Middle Earth tournament. PouDaddy decides that he's going to start with Gandalf, the Keeper of Narya, in the Fellowship. And I chose Shadow because Shadow is slightly preferred in the LOME version of the game and the base version as well, even though my free people's win percentage is much higher. I decided to go with Shadow. So he starts with Boromir instead of the Fellowship. That tells me right away that I probably want to either avoid Minas Tirith or just go after it really quick, and Gondor in general. And I ask if there are tokens, and I take my token. And here we go. Fellowship. I allocate one eye. I roll no more. He rolls. His Narya is an eye, which is funny to me. PouDaddy is known for bad luck. At least this year he started his own venting channel, so I found this hilarious. So here we go. I get two eyes, and I tell him to go vent, and I laugh. And he refuses to vent, saying that it's against his beliefs. It's just a fake flex for the winners, which is accurate in some regards, but some people just have the worst luck. So he passes, and I start by mustering Isengard down one. My thought is I'm probably going to use a muster, hopefully, to reveal the Fellowship if he moves and gets revealed on two eyes. And if not, I'll probably bring the Balrog in or Saruman in, as long as he can't kill Gandalf turn one. So I start moving Isengard down to war. Passes. And I do standard movements. I like doing Farharad to here and Barad-dûr to Gorgoroth. And I get annoyed when people do the wrong movement and move down here. I like doing the full movement, like as you're supposed to do. I moves the Fellowship. I'm hoping to hit, and I miss. So at this point, I decide to bring Saruman in, but I think that's a mistake. So I take it back. Good. I'm glad my past self did that. And instead, I bring the Balrog in, which brings the elves and the dwarves down one. But I figure I want to get the Balrog out, especially if he moves two more times, potentially. Moves the elves down again. I play Monsters Roused. And this is not a typical move for me, but I'm thinking maybe I should go for Rivendell at this point. And again, I'm not looking at... I can look at his cards, but I'm not going to because I figure I want to show you my perspective of the game. So Monsters Roused. He moves the Fellowship with the Will of the West. I don't know if I would do that. I'd be tempted to use a ring and possibly get... And see... Well, I don't know. Maybe this is the right play. Never mind. So he moves and he's missed again. So he's moved twice successfully. And now I bring Saruman in. Because he can't get Gandalf turn one. And he uses Boromir's ability to move Gondor down. Okay. I play Gates Are Closed because I figure he's going to move into Moria next turn, and I might as well just have that there. It's in a turn 1. Nothing out of the ordinary, pretty standard turn. I didn't get much moving for military at all. Sauron's not even at war yet. And I'm not going to... Well, you can see what he draws, but like I said, I'm just going to ignore them. I draw Lore of the Elven Rings and half orcs and goblin men. And I'm happy that I draw Lore of the Elven Rings. PouDaddy's Lucas is horrible. And I'm hoping he just continues to roll eyes. Even though this game he's doing really well so far. So Fellowship's okay. Allocate an eye. Roll one more. And PouDaddy rolled an eye. But I haven't played the Lore of the Elven Rings yet. So I'm excited. And I thank Gandalf. I start by flipping the Balrog. I'm thinking of bringing the Balrog's army up to Rivendell to step on the Fellowship and gradually walk up so he has to reveal through them. So I flip the Balrog to start. I'm also thinking there's a possibility... Well, I don't know yet what I'm thinking. Thinking maybe I can play half orcs and goblin men and step on Rivendell. But right now, Sauron's not even at war yet. So I decide to use a token to bring Sauron to war. This might be an inaccuracy. You can mention in the comments what your thoughts are. And now he brings Galadriel in. I draw a strategy card. I probably did this turn out of order. I probably should have drawn a strategy card first in retrospect. I get the shadows moving, so now I'm thinking, all right, so if I get everyone to war, I can just move everyone out into Holland and then possibly walk right up into Rivendell. Use half orcs and goblin men to reinforce that army. So I go on with my plan. I move the Southrons and Easterlings down one. Passes, I do it again. Now it is a standard movement. Everyone knows the Old Forest Road and the Westamnet move. And now I play Shadows moving. 1. I move that down. 2, 3, 4. Then I don't want to keep Moria open, so I just move one guy back in. And now I move to Fellowship. And I hit him. So this is perfect situation for me. He will, if he gets revealed, he's going to have to go through the Balrog and possibly take 2, or have to make a tough choice. But alas, he draws Smeagol. And I laugh, because now I know it's blocked. He's not going to get Narya back, but he is going to get Galadriel's die. So it's not that. This is actually not bad for him. Alright, and I condense my armies. I threaten Dol Amroth here to see if he maybe musters Gondor down. And instead he moves the Fellowship again. Done 4 movements. I've missed. Every time I said I got the Smeagol out. Now I attack. I'm thinking of attacking Rivendell. I probably should have attacked Rivendell, but I ended up taking it back, and I decided to play the Lore of the Elven Rings. As he keeps rolling eyes, I'm thinking he's got to do it again. That's what I write in the chat for when you roll your eyes. Move on to turn 3. I draw Warm with Sorrow and Toil, Shadows of the Misty Mountains. I'm sad I see Shadows of the Misty Mountains because I already moved the army out. And I could always use it to reinforce in Moria if I need it. And allocate, and I always do that in advance, so because he always moved once. He declares, and he dodges the Balrog. So I don't know. I might be tempted to even move through the Balrog to try to kill off Smeagol here, and go 1, 2, 3, 4 as a possibility. Because I might play Gates Are Closed here, And this is probably a mistake on my part because I actually do play it, and I draw the 3, which kills Smeagol perfectly. And I moves Gandalf. And I haven't mentioned in the chat, this is the turning point of the game. I'm just bombing it. Going on to the next turn. I already had one eye. I roll one more. And he rolls 2 characters, 2 musters, and a Palantir. What I'm thinking of doing here is probably trying to take Elrond down as fast as possible. I'm probably going to bring in the chief, and I'm thinking he's going to maybe try to muster the elves down. I don't know. Let's see what he does. I don't remember. So he starts by bringing Elrond in. So now I know he's probably going to move a lot this turn. I bring the Witch King in because I want to. The chief in because I want to cycle my Worn with Starwind Toil card. Especially if he wants to lose Gandalf soon. He moves the Fellowship. I hit on the reroll. And I draw an eye. But he uses Galadriel's ability to get rid of it. And draws a 0. So I'm happy with that. Because he did not lose Gandalf. He still has to hide. So I do have time to play Worn with Starwind Toil before he loses him. And I have all the rings. And this, I think, was a mistake. Because what I'm thinking at this point is I'm going to use this muster with a ring. And probably use Elrond's ring to attack Rivendell. But I decide first that I want to play Worn with Starwind Toil. Which I do. He flips. And yes, this is my mistake here. I draw the character card. I draw the strategy card, sorry. And it's Madness and Horror, which doesn't do anything. But has a Storm of Bats ability. And now I should have figured this out because he played all. If you play your rings, if you play all of them by turn 3, you have to have this card. So I'm hoping with his awful luck that I'm going to be lucky here. But I'm not. He gets 2 back. And this is why it was a mistake. Because if I had played... If I had used Elrond as an attack, then I could have gotten rid of Elrond's ring. Because that's the most overpowered one in the pool. So he takes Elrond back, Galadriel back. There you go. Or, the ring's back. I attack Rivendell. So I think I'm gonna be sneaky and do it again. But then he moves the Fellowship. I get hit. It's a 1. Does he kill Gandalf here? No, he just moves the Corruption up, but he used Elrond right away before I blow up Rivendell. So he's moving 1. He had 2, 3, 4, possibly 5 movements this turn, which is nuts. So before I attack, I decide to play Half Works. And he moves the Fellowship again. And is not hit. I'm probably going to play Storm of Bats here. And he plays Daylight. And I roll 2 hits. And if Storm of Bats had worked, this would be 3. But even if he had played Daylight, I would have still gotten 2 hits. He gets 1 back. And I just keep pressing. I don't play a card. He plays Shield Wall. And I get 3 6s. So I always rate 2 minus, 3 minus 1. But he gets 2 hits back. But I don't really care about this army anymore because I don't think it's going to go anywhere else. So their journey is at an end. And they're going to stay in Rivendell and chill. I got my first 2 victory points, but he's already basically 3 steps from Mordor. So this is a really, really slow military for me. He moves Gondor to war. I think about exchanging the Witch King. I actually don't do this. I remember this. So just ignore. You'll see he's here, but he's really not. Instead, I decide to possibly rush Orthanc. Sorry, from Orthanc down here, or just get it ready because there's still no Gandalf the White. I draw Candles of Corpses and Hordes from the East. Like I said, I'm ignoring the blue cards. So I don't want to tell this game from my perspective. He decides not to reveal, or sorry, not to declare, which makes sense because if he does, then I'm going to follow him anyway. I allocate one eye because I have no choice. And I roll one more. From the Balrog. And he rolls 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. A Will of the West. And, I mean, I guess you could worry that I might have Day Without Dawn, but I don't have it. So it starts by moving and safe. And what do I do here? What would I do? Let me look at the board. I think I might consider moving my leadership around. And maybe going after Dew at this point, because this looks like a lost cause in Gondor. That's what I do. So I move the Witch King, the Chief on him, move the Balrog down, because why not? Put leadership going for the Dew line. And I don't know why I left these behind. Moves the Fellowship again, and I miss, even with the reroll. So now he is 1, 2, 3, 4. He's one step away from Mordor. I play Candles of Corpses because I want to cycle cards and get his corruption up while I can. And I get 2, which is expected, I think. And I draw into Grand, which might help in my military because it's so slow. Moves the Fellowship again. And he finally gets hit and draws an eye. And then he laughs because he decides to play Nenya again, which means there are 2 eyes permanently out of the pool. And he probably doesn't want to lose Strider to that. And he draws a 3, which is perfect for him. So this is totally lopsided, this game. So he's currently in Mordor. I don't know. I think I would have chosen to reveal, and then he would draw the 3 tile anyway and not have to worry about cruel weather. So this might be a misplay. Tell me what you think in the comments. But I do mention this is one-sided, and I remember that I have Warm with Sorrow and Toil. And I don't know what I discarded. I attack forwards because I figure if I rush now, he might use his Will of the West in order to reinforce Helm's Deep. So I play no card, he plays no card, and I get 1 hit. It's open for 2, obviously. And he gets 1 hit back. So I press.
A wizard is never late.
I mean, this is risky,
nor is he early.
What I'm doing here,
he
but
arrives
point,
precisely when he means to.
At this point, I'm terrified because I feel like I'm so behind. You want to be at 5 victory points as Shadow by the time that Free gets into Mordor. That's what I've learned from the top players. And I think they're right. He brings Gandalf in. So now I attack right into Helm's Deep immediately. He passes again. I'm worried at this point that he might do military sneakery. And, possibly bring this out and then go into Moria, or he might just go into Orthanc with this army. So that's why I reinforce here. Plus, he might have an Ents card. So I want to make it a little bit harder in case he does. And then I wait, and he doesn't do anything. So and he remembers to pass here. He says, yeah, I didn't realize he went. And now I'm going forward with my plan to go after the Dew line. Because that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That'd be 10. That's what I'm thinking at this point. Passes again, and I continue moving armies. And I always, and every player who knows, Cruel Weather does this. I decide to always keep the Palantir action because I'm thinking I'm going to use this anyway to rush to Woodland Realm before he can march pack it up. Plus, it'll make him sweat bullets here. Maybe move again and draw some more corruption, especially with Warm with Sorrow and Toil here. So now he's thinking and he's like debating with himself, and he decides to risk death and play Five Galadriel. I would have considered separating companions here. His corruption isn't that bad, and it might help his. I mean, I guess my military is so slow anyway. He doesn't need to. I think this. Yeah, this was probably the right play. I tell him I don't have it in Attack Dale. No card to get my hit. This is a terrifying roll. Whenever you roll 3 1s as Shadow, maybe when you're free, you're like, oh man, if I had played Confusion here, this would be devastating. But he didn't play Confusion, so I'm good. I got my hit. Got nothing back, so here I go. So I attack Dale, move the north down. Here we are into turn 5. So, yeah, he's doing really well. And really close to dunking the ring, and I can't do anything about it. So this looks really grim for me. And trying to think what I could have done differently. But anyway, he declares. And I declare, I'll allocate 1 eye, and I roll 1. And then he rolls this, and this is great. Because now he can't possibly move, because he's used all of his rings. And I said, it's the PouDaddy look I'm used to. Because I am. And he smartly reinforces Woodland Realm, and I attack it right away. But I forgot to draw my cards. So he lets me draw, which I'm grateful for. And I attack Woodland Realm. I'm thinking at this point, I need to rush because he's in Mordor, and this is like a catch-up turn. So this is kind of like if Cruel Weather. Now imagine if Cruel Weather had worked, what this turn would look like. If I had Cruel Weather, this would be great. But I'm still able to move my military fast enough before he can reinforce. So I attack Woodland Realm, and I think I'm going to play Moomakill here because then there's a possibility I can get a lot of hits. And he uses a free strategy. I'm terrified it might be advantageous position, but it's not. It's no quarter, which is still equally possibly bad because he might get 3 hits and then get an additional hit. So we'll see how this battle goes. I roll 1, 2, and then 1 hit in the reroll, so 3 total. And then he rolls 1, which will be 2 with no quarter, so he just needs 1 more hit. And then the Moomakill effect won't take effect. And he misses on the reroll, so it's only 2. So he gets 2, and I get 4. So I press because I want to finish this army up before Thranduil comes out. I play Deadly Strife and get it. And he gets no hits back. So at this point, this is why I don't necessarily exchange the Witch King, because if I had, then he could move the dwarves to war and start taking back Dale. Dale and the Dew line in general. So this is one of the reasons I sometimes choose not to even put the Black Captain in, because he could do dwarves, and then he can do some shenanigans up here, and I'd rather just be done with it. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm done here. I'm going to go for the Helm's Deep play and possibly maybe do some sneaky stuff into Gondor. He passes. I draw a card, draw into another Deadly Strife, which is great to see. Then I start moving Rohan down, so I know I have to attack it. So I attack Helm's Deep. Play Deadly Strife. He does no card. I get my 3 hits. I was worried that he was going to play Ents there, and he didn't. But even if he had played the Ents and the Horn Dark, I still would have gotten 2 hits. He gets 2 hits back. And that's the end of Helm's Deep. So now I'm up to 7. And he's very upset, which I don't blame him. I'd be pissed too. I mean, you made it all the way to Mordor by turn 5. And I had mentioned him I didn't have Cruel Weather, don't forget. And now I put Smith Recruit out, which, it's not going to make a difference right now because you can't even move. And I put the red 1 in. And he starts reinforcing Westamnet. I probably should have attacked Westamnet earlier. But I think I was thinking that I can get 5s and 6. I can get 5s and 6s on this army. So I move all my leadership, and he plays Guards of the Citadel. I was worried it was going to be a Rohan card. It's not. I use Galadriel and attack Westamnet here. And I use Dread and Despair for the ability where he can't roll that much. And he plays Valor. Which is funny because, he had a chance here. And I get 1 hit. And I re-roll 2. So I get 3 hits. And he rolls a 2. And there you go. And I press. Next turn. I draw into Denethor's Folly and Nazgul's Strike. Make sure he takes Corruption. He did. I don't put any eyes in because I just want to finish it. Because it's very unlikely, in my opinion, that he's going to get 5 movement here. He might. You never know. 3 movement and 1 eye goes here. Okay. And I get this roll, which is basically, because I have a ring still, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 attacks. So I'm thinking I want to finish Rohan out, and then I'll figure out where my other points are going to be. And I remembered to use Lore of the Elven Rings, and I changed one of my characters, there's too many of them, to a hybrid. I don't know if it would have been smarter to maybe draw to do a Palantir, but I think this is correct. He starts by moving. I don't know. I would have considered reinforcing with the muster here for Edoras, but I guess he might be worried I'm going to do a run, and he might need that muster somewhere else. So he starts moving the Fellowship. I draw 1, and he takes it. And now I decide I want to finish Edoras first to make sure there's no funny business in Helm's Deep. No, I get no hits. He gets no hits back. I press. He escapes. And I'm not worried about him attacking back because he needs leadership. He doesn't have it, and he does. And it would be a waste of a muster, I think, if he used it here. I'd probably be welcome to see it. So now I'm thinking I'm definitely gonna probably go from Umbar here and take a walk. He moves a Fellowship. It's an eye. 3 reveal, and he smartly blocks it and gets a 0 reveal instead. And now I bring in the alternate mouth because the alternate mouth can get the free press. And now I move all my leadership around to Umbar. And I wonder how many times I've misplayed the Balrog here and where he could have been if I'd remembered him. Now, Mr. Zagandor, I think he sees what I'm going to do. And here I go. Here comes the movement. There's 1. He passes. There's 2. I attack Pelargir, no card. Because I don't have any playable cards here, so maybe Onslaught, and I'm not going to use that. And I don't have the Witch King that draws cards anyway. So I get my 1 hit. He does not. And now I'm up to 9. So even if he retakes either one, it doesn't matter because he would only be able to retake 1. And I'm going to try to get this to finish the game. Because every little is a game. That's funny. He has that lucky. He might have played that earlier. I don't know if that would have been better because then he'd have additional person in Pelargir. But I'm not sure if would I've gotten the hits. I would have gotten 1 for sure. I don't know what the reroll would look like. Okay. So I attack Lamedon, or Lamedon, and he plays Scouts. Here I go. I go into Dolamroth because I at this point my only hope is to finish him now because he's definitely gonna dunk the ring next turn. At least that's what I think, based on his movement and Strider still being the guide. And he plays We Prove the Swifter, and this is maddening because now I need to get 6s, and it makes a lot of my cards just unplayable. And I wrote that, but I remember I brought the Mouth, which is smart because now I have 2 additional leadership. But if I had the Balrog too, that would bring a lot more leadership. And now I go for DA. So here we go. Turn 1, I play no card, and I get 2 6s, which is great. And he rolls nothing back, and is not happy, clearly. I use my free press, and he still plays no card, and I play Onslaught, because I think, Gandalf can't block me trying to throw orcs and stuff at him. And I roll that, which is unbelievable. I don't know the chances of that, but I'll take it. And I laugh. I'm shocked. He gets mad, and he disconnects. So I laughed really hard about this ending, and it's just really unfortunate for PouDaddy. I feel really bad for him. I thank him for just a great game, and I think he played most everything right. I mean, leave your comments on what you think. But I'm very lucky, and I've been lucky in LOME in general, where I've been playing really good players and just getting wins. So, yeah, that's the first game. So my next game will be in tomorrow with Romp Steel at this point, and we'll see how it goes. Well, it might not be tomorrow because I don't know when this video is going to come out. But thank you for watching. This is my first ever video with War of the Ring, and I'm going to try to put more up, and I'm going to try using the OBS, and I'm going to try to use IRAphase software. I want to give him a special shout out. I probably shouldn't at the beginning. I'll put it in the comments, just to thank him for being an inspiration to the War of the Ring community, getting me attached to the Discord in general, and I'm going to try to use the setup that he was very kind to let me look at. So hopefully I can learn that for you guys and for all of you. And again, my goal of this channel is just to show you my love for this game and just to talk about it for fun. And hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much, everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.